Everything in your life is your fault. No one will tell you this, but I will now, because it is the truth. The ugly truth, but the truth. And you have to take accountability for that, take responsibility for that, and be able to understand this. It is not your parents' fault, it is not your family's fault, and it is not your friends' fault. It is ultimately your fault for the things that have happened currently, the problems, the situations. The way you have gone about these things is your fault, and you have to be able to accept that and move on from that and try and take little amounts of information and understanding from that and make the future a better one for yourself. All your problems are ultimately your fault. It's not your parents' fault, it's not your friends' fault, it's your fault. It's not your family's fault. And you have to take responsibility for that, because everything in your life is your fault. The problems that arise in your life is your fault. And you have to accept that and take it on the chin and be able to have a certain responsibility, acceptance, and a bit of humility to try and get over those situations or those problems that arise. What feelings do you get after hearing this? Annoyance, aggression, acceptance? Are you going to understand this and make a change? Or are you going to be stuck in your pit and take it into your chest with an element of anger? You ultimately know which is the best decision for you. It is just your limiting beliefs that will change it. Live life being aware of the consequences is such an important thing and a valuable thing. These emotions are obviously built into you, and they aren't intuitively bad things. You just have to be able to control them and use them to your advantage. If you have a feeling of frustration or anger towards me or this, then you have to use that and create a picture for why this has arisen and how you can build on that or try and start from scratch and reset that with various activities like breath work. This video is a large amount towards anger and frustration, which is what I've had for a massive amount of time, towards successful people and video games and social media. And it's ultimately because of you're not living your life that you actually want to live, and you're living a fake life. I used to watch a streamer called Aiden Ross. You might know him, you might not. And a large amount of watching him, I was extremely angry towards him, because he was not a successful guy mentally and physically. He was just a guy people look up to in terms of how to have fun in your life with no actual purpose or meaning. People might think that his purpose was video games or streaming, but what was his true message towards people? And now I realise that the anger was okay, and it's not something to be ashamed about, because it's It's so true. And it's not something that is bad. Anger, aggression, frustration are all okay things, because in a large amount it is jealousy for other people's lives or successes. And this is what I had with various amount of streamers or YouTubers. I was just jealous of the life that they lived, and it's also very competitive. Like, you have in your mind that you can do better than them in certain aspects. When you're watching them, you think that there are certain ways which you can make them better, or you can be better than them, which annoys you because you can do it yourself, or you can be successful yourself. People always say this because it's so important. A lot of the guys that you look up to went through things over a long period of time. It didn't happen overnight. A lot of the guys that you look up to went through a lot over a long period of time. Their success didn't happen overnight. It wasn't a straight trajectory. There were bumps, loads of bumps. There would be more bumps than positives, but that's how you become successful. You have to accept these bumps and come back stronger from these things, learn how these happened, and take it on the chin. Goal setting is an important thing from this, because having clear goals goal setting is so important from this, because you have goals that you work towards. Like these YouTubers and streamers, they have goals that they set for themselves, which they are proud of making. You can do this yourself, and you can gain a lot of progress from that. And it's so important to do that, or to do this currently, setting a certain amount of goals throughout your progress and your life to work towards and to gain some joy from. You just need to accept that the people that you look up to worked 10, 20 times harder than you, and that you don't work hard enough, and that ultimately that is your fault. And that is what I wanted to talk about in this video. It is your fault. You need to work harder. You need to have a clear plan. You need to set goals. Thank you. Have a good rest of your day, and make this day unforgettable for yourself. Work extremely hard, or take significant risks. Peace out.